What's going on, everybody? It is April 22nd. It is a Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. So it looks like the NFL is further cracking down on letting people do political statements with their branding. And I like that. I'm not a fan of having political protests and messages put into entertainment. And at the end of the day, the NFL is entertainment. Okay? It's entertainment. It's meant for fun. It's meant for people to cut loose and kind of forget about their problems. And the problem I have with stuff like this is, and it's not just in sports, it's in Hollywood and everywhere else. People use this to escape, okay? And when you have these big celebrities on here using these platforms to shove messages in your face, it gets annoying to me. But I do think that people have the right to do it, but I also have the right to not watch it. And it's one of the reasons why I haven't really watched very much of the NFL for the past couple of years, because I just got tired of all the politicizing. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that checked out on the NFL. Not enough to really do damage to the brand. The brand is still strong. It's the most popular sport in America. But there was enough that they noticed and took quick action to stop it. There was pictures of empty stadiums. Well, not empty, but, not sold out. Let's put it that way. The stadium wasn't sold out, and you had a lot of people sitting at home. Ratings kind of went down a little, enough to maybe make them look at it, and they put a quick stop to it. A quick stop. So let's go over this a little bit. So the draft is coming up. Now the draft is one of the only big things coming up, and they're doing it through Zoom and all of this weird stuff. It's going to be totally different than what it used to be. And one of the things that they don't want to happen is for draftees to come in here, wearing some shirt that has some kind of political message, like, F Drumpf or the orange man's bad or something. They want that. They don't want that in the messaging, because a lot of people will probably be watching this because there's not really that much going on sports-wise. And the draft is always kind of a big deal, usually always in Chicago. I used to go down there for it quite a bit. It's a shame that that's not going to be something that I can do, but what can you do about it? The world is different right now. So the draftees, they're putting a stop to that. Let's go through this a little bit here. The National Football League has issued new guidelines for recruits who will join the league this year, many in the 2020 NFL Draft, set to take place virtually this coming Thursday. If players are standing for the draft and hope to be recruited onto a team during Thursday's selection ceremony, they should avoid clothing with political statements, shirts with any kind of too hot to handle images, or anything violent. Clothing that promotes a brand not affiliated with the NFL, or clothing not affiliated with the NFL. So one thing that's kind of funny that I noticed about this when I was reading through it is they've lumped political messaging in with these other statements to kind of hide it a little bit, but people are going to pick this up. I bet you ESPN is going crazy about this right now. They need to be able to have free expression. That's another reason why ESPN's ratings were dipping before any of this stuff happened, is because they moved into this politics brand, and no one wants politics mixed into sports. That's one of the problems here. Nobody wants politics mixed into sports. Okay, the memo says that clothing with libel or hate speech or anything featuring political statements will not be tolerated. So if draftees plan on following in a certain former 49ers quarterback footsteps, they should be extra careful to keep things off camera. Other restrictions include clothing that features any other things like racial, religious, ethnic stuff, explicit language, obscene stuff. This is common sense. But I find it funny that they throw all of that in there. Like, you would hope that they would be smart enough not to have any of that stuff on there. I think the concern here is that people aren't, coming to originally the draft, particularly, if you're the first 2 days of it are a big spectacle. And then as you get more into the later rounds, it's not really that big of a deal. But I think the concern here is they're doing it on Zoom. So these people are going to be live streaming. It's a little bit different. It's probably not going to be seen as formal as when you're going to a big banquet. But the thing here is that I would assume most people are going to be in suits still and dressed up, even though they're on Zoom. There's a professionalism that I think is expected. But I just find it funny that they're throwing in all these other things in here, and then they're like, oh, political statements. Oh, okay. It's just kind of funny to me. So potential recruits also can't wear clothing that features disparaging depictions of the NFL or defamatory statements regarding the NFL, which would be kind of stupid to do considering you're trying to get in. The restrictions so far apply to just potential draftees appearing in Zoom meetings or on live stream from home during Thursday's virtual draft, but the NFL does seem to be cracking down on political speech within the league across the board. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. A lot of stuff was happening. There are pictures. Now, a lot of the more popular teams that actually win, they are usually always sold out. But some more mediocre teams that aren't quite as, good, that don't really make it that far, their stadiums during a lot of this stuff, when all of the whole, bending of the knee thing was going on during the anthem, and it was really ramping up, so a lot of stadiums were not sold out, like I said, but, there was a lot of empty sections. And for an NFL game, that's usually not common. Now, you can look this up yourself and find it. You'll find it. Just Google empty NFL stadiums or partially empty NFL stadiums. Something will pop up and you'll see what I'm talking about. Professional football became a flashpoint for political disagreement in 2017 when a certain quarterback began doing some protesting and demonstrations, and then the Orange Man got involved, and it really became a hot topic. The NFL at first defended players' rights to protest, but as consumers disengaged from the NFL, first refusing to purchase tickets and then tuning out of games en masse, the league felt obligated to step in. After discussions with owners in 2018, the league adopted a policy largely banning political statements on the field and forcing players to either stand for the national anthem or remain in their locker room during the pregame, which I think was honestly a smart move because, it is a business at the end of the day, and the business has the right to do what they want to do. And look, their ratings didn't drop significantly, but there was a ratings drop, and there was a decrease in ticket sales, enough for them to say, hey, maybe we don't want to have all this NPC initiative stuff going on. We want to make money. So they have a quote right here. We want people to be respectful of the national anthem, Commissioner Roger Goodell said at the time, per ESPN. We want people to stand. That's all personnel, and make sure they treat this moment in a respectful fashion. That's something we think we owe, but we were also very sensitive to give players choices. Now that professional sports is on hiatus because of everything going on right now, the NFL is more cognizant than ever of its appearance to average Americans and desperate to stay in Americans' good graces. The NFL is planning on having something of a regular season, and players are reporting to virtual summer camps. I think I'm in camps this week. I'm not sure. But anyway, like other professional sports leagues, however, how games are played and managed is likely to change. So obviously what's going to happen, in my opinion, with a lot of sports is they're going to be played in empty arenas. I think that's pretty much what everyone's expecting right now. And like I've said before in other videos, that's going to be really, really weird to see and kind of creepy because we're used to seeing these lives. And it really sucks because I enjoy football, particularly college football, which looks like that's not going to happen this year. It's going to be probably aired empty arenas, and that's boring. But either way, I do like seeing this. Now, it's a weird position because I do believe that you have the right to protest, but also I have the opinion that the business this is a business, this is a work environment, and you don't go to your job and start throwing, boxes around and acting like an ass. Okay? These people are all at work. This is a business, and they do have to listen to the business, and the business is making the decision here that this is a dumb move. You're pissing off Americans. You're pissing off people. Let's just not do this. Let's have a game and not do political messaging that's costing us money. Now, at first, they did try to back all this up and say that it was okay, and then they started to lose money, and they said, whoa, let's pump the brakes. And I remember when all this was going down because ESPN was all about this stuff and all against it. I can't believe they're going against you, rat Nazis, which wasn't the case. It's just people that are like deeply offended. Like, I'm sorry, but as much as you want to try to tie that as some kind of bad thing, it's not wrong that people love their country. Okay. And you're what a slap in the face it is to do that during the national anthem. It's wrong. In my opinion, you know, I don't care for it. And a lot of people agree with me on that. You know, it's not seen as heroic to burn a flag. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. A little bit different content, not something I usually cover, but I like the messaging here. You know, I'm tired of political statements from entertainment. I don't watch entertainment and sports to be lectured. I watch it all to get away from stuff, to escape. And that's how a lot of people feel about it. Hopefully Hollywood will be next. I'm tired of this stuff in Hollywood. I'm tired of it in sports. I want to be entertained, not lectured. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me your comments below. What do you think about this? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Also, throw a like up if you would. Share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Patreon. Also, by the way, if you want to join my new Discord, it's a smaller Discord, nice community over there. So for, you know, joining the channel as a member, or the Patreon will get you access to that. Just hit me up in a message if you do join and let me know. Anyway, peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.